fans, with us today, I've got three of the biggest, coolest supporters from day one. Three of the baddest names in the no prep world. And three of the gentlemen I call friends and brothers, and am so thankful and grateful for. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to us from Sagata, Texas. He is the baddest on the light. We call him the GOAT. Ladies and gentlemen, Limpy. Next, coming to us from Louisville, Kentucky. He is at the tippy top of the promoting game. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Happy. And last but not least, Pass. You know the deal. Driver of the baddest no prep car in the game. LL Spoogie. Ladies and gentlemen, from Eaton Rapids, Michigan, I give to you Jasper Gray.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys, you know the deal. Episode 200. Thank you so much for coming on and joining us. As you know, I brought these three gentlemen in because, as I said in my intro, they've had my back from day one. They have been some of the biggest supporters here of the E's and B's. And today we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to turn the mic over to these three guys, let them ask me a few questions. And then before we shut it down, we got two fun questions to close out episode 200. Once again, thanks again, guys, for coming on. And I'm going to turn it over to you.
Well, all right. 200 episodes is awesome.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank
Congrats
you.
on that.
Congrats, man. That is cool.
Dude.
It's a huge compliment. That's like over 4 years.
That's absolutely coming up. September 4th will be 4 years in the game. And while you mention that, let's just let these fans in on a little couple stats I've been doing here. In 4 years, I've missed 8 weeks, 8 episodes in 4 years. And now that being because of either birthdays, being at War in the Woods, being at Small Tire Gangs, whatever it may be, but 8 episodes. So 8 Fridays I've missed in 4 years. That's it.
Wow.
For
Crazy
you
stat.
That's pretty good. For you listeners out there, here's how it all begun. Obviously, the pandemic's how we got this thing started. I listened to podcasts, and then I jumped in 2 feet. But how I got these guys in the door was, just basically reaching out. And I got to let you know this. Limpy was the first person on my podcast out of these 3 guys here. Wasn't my first episode or first guest. He was my first person out of the no prep world. And it was January 7th, 2022, episode 70. So 130 episodes ago, my man Limpy joined us. The funny part was the name of the episode, Wait on the Light Breakfast. And if you remember right, at that time, I think we were Mork was jumping, and I think our boy TC Toon was jumping as well. And that's kind of where that all came from, and where I got that. Switch it up. We'll go to the next guest. That would have been Happy. And it's kind of wild. I was doing this earlier, almost a complete year later, but still December 2022, December 30th, episode 120. And the name of that episode was End of the Year Breakfast, because obviously it was the end of the year and we were wrapping things up. So I didn't get a cool name. I kind of feel bad on that, but yeah, almost a year later, Happy joined the show there. And then wrapping things up, my man, Jasper up there, he came at us almost a year after that, April 28th, 2023. And he was episode 137. Many mistakes breakfast, and we've dove into that several times. But that's some cool knowledge for you guys out there. Like I said, I just reached out to these awesome, cool people way back in the day. Gave them my idea, brought them in. Probably thought I was crazy with the questions I asked them. And you know what? Our friendship has bloomed since then. And you know, when it comes to no prep world, there isn't anyone else other than you three and maybe a couple others that I turn to because you guys have been there for me day one. And man, it's cool to be right here, episode 200. Make sure you guys are checking out Limpy each and every week there. Limpy Reacts, or you can follow Limpy and Happy every Tuesday there on the table. But don't forget, before Tuesday, you got to get high. It's the Smoke Show on Monday. That's my boy Jasper and Limpy. Every week there on your YouTube. Make sure you guys go give them a follow. Support my friends here. Everyone that supports us, we love for you guys to support them. So let's turn the microphones back over here to the guys, get a couple more questions before we get some fun things going here.
All right,
so what got you into sports?
Growing up, living in Indiana, my brother was 7 years older than me. He was a very good baseball player. And, you know, like most, if you got an older brother or sibling and they're good at something, you usually either want to be better than them or follow closely in their footsteps most time. And that's just it. I got into sports, you know, at a young age. Then I kind of fell out of it after my mom passed away. I got back into it when in high school and you know, just loved it. But in the meantime, where I grew up, when you talk about professional sports, everybody has a team. Everybody has a favorite player. You know, and I've always been that way. And I used to love when my dad would get the newspaper every day and I get the sports section out and I would literally line for line, I go through all the stats and, you know, see what's going on, because you couldn't watch most of that stuff because it was either on the West Coast or you just didn't have cable channel that had that option back then. So that's how I kept intact. And then as I became older, about 8 years old, my parents took me to the Radisson down there in Indy on the weekend with some of their friends and family and stuff. And we stayed in the same hotel as the Dolphins. And I got 1989 Miami Dolphins autograph, including Don Shula, Duper, Clayton, Marino several times. You name it. I got that whole team. And at an 8-year-old age, that was my team from then on. All my family, like in the Colts or Bears, because, you know, that was their team from being in the state. I was the rival. So I kind of like that. And it just blossomed from there, man. And that's kind of what's driven me into this. The wrestling part also was tied in. I was in and out of the fake wrestling and high school wrestling through high school.
Fake wrestling.
You know, it's entertainment. And that's what I tell everybody. It's my movies. It's when you guys go to watch your Deadpool or, you know, your whatever, I'm watching wrestling. That's just my entertainment. That's the way I do it. And, you know, my kids enjoy it. So it's fun to spend time with them watching that as well. But that's basically how I got into the sports fandom. And then, like I said, for the podcast world, it was just basically the pandemic. And I was like, you know what? I gotta try this. And then catching up with you guys, everybody started getting more and more popular on YouTube. And, you know, that's, you know, I'm sure it's your guys' pretty much saying as mine. That's all I watch anymore or do anymore is, you know, my friends and support the people that support us.
Yep, for sure.
Pretty awesome. So I'm gonna do to you what you do to everyone else.
Bring it.
If we were making a documentary about your life, what would this, or a movie about your life, what would this movie be called, and who would be playing you?
I'm gonna take someone that might not be exactly my size, but I love him as an actor, and that's Vince Vaughn. And
He's got a new show too.
Yeah, I know. I just saw that the other day. And then the name of it, man, probably The Good, the Bad, the Ugly Return.
That's cool.
That's awesome. It finally got done back to you.
Yeah. Yep.
I like it. What is the biggest or coolest thing that's come from having the podcast?
You guys should know this. The friendships, man. I got goosebumps even talking about it. There's certain people, and you three are big in that world, that have got me through some tough times, man.
I lose audio.
No, you're good.
No, we got you.
You three and a few others basically have been there for me for a lot of crazy times and don't even know it. But what else is cool about it is seeing stuff I've never seen before. You know, like earlier this year, going to Texas with Limpy, and I've never been to Texas before in my life.
Yeah.
And I had a different vision of Texas until Limper Jasper down there hooked me up, and we had a hell of a time. And I got a complete different vision of it, and you can bet your ass I'll be back there in April again.
Yeah.
And then just as far as like some other cool stuff, like making my own merch. I never thought I'd do that. I always wanted to. I had that idea before I even had the podcast idea. I just never really had the confidence in it. And I got something brewing right now that's hopefully will take the War in the Woods crowd by storm come here in a couple weeks. So I can't wait
That's
to
awesome, man.
lay
That's
that
awesome.
out. But yeah, man, that's probably what I'd say is the friendships number one. And then number two, just getting out and seeing some stuff I've never seen before. And I mean, I've told probably Limpy and Jasper this once, but I was never a drag racing fan ever. My whole life, we've been roundy round track racers. My dad built race cars when I was a baby. My brother raced until I was old enough. Then I raced a little bit. And then I raced when I moved out here to Colorado, just 2 seasons. But we've always been roundy round and thought the other stuff was what you guys think of the roundy round and vice versa. But when I got to actually go to my first War in the Woods, shit, that was I had been to no prep Kings before that. I never went back to no prep Kings, if that tells you.
Guarantee it.
Not saying nothing bad about it. It was fun. You know, that's how I met Bob Rice. Bob Rice was at Colorado up in the stands videoing with his phone before he got popular. And I had already knew him for the race prior. And I went over and said hello to him. And man, that's how our friendship kicked off. And then he slowly got into the no prep world, you know, after that. So kind of cool.
That's cool, man.
All right. How about
what guest or what one thing comes to your mind that if somebody asks you who has the wildest story that you've ever brought on, who has that one person? You ain't got to tell a story or anything, but you got the one person.
Maybe
like Mike Corley, like stepping on something.
Yeah, no, nothing crazy like that. But I did have a crazy wrestler that asked, like, before I interviewed him, he asked me not to ask him several things, and I was like, wow, and I it made me want to ask him like why, but other than that, nothing really. You know, mainly a lot of the people I've brought on, I was going through the notes earlier. I'm almost to 75 guests in 4 years, and that range, I couldn't believe in 2022, I was almost having a guest every week, and I didn't realize that's what I relied on. And the range of wrestlers to racers to physical therapists to YouTubers to radio hosts, it was wild, and I just think that's very, very cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
And I'm not done. You can believe your ass on that. What I'm trying to get in the rhythm of is seasonal. Right now we're in racing season, so I'm trying to keep it in the racing helm. Once winter hits, I'll switch it up to wrestling and maybe like YouTubers or radio, something different, and then start spring, maybe get into some sporting people. That's how I'm trying to get the rhythm go. It's just tough. I'm not like most of those media guys you meet out there. I don't go out there and try to force myself down your throat. I'm going to be here every Friday, whether you want to listen or not. And I'm okay if you do or don't. But I try to shine the light on a lot of people that wouldn't get the light shined on them any other time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I know you guys get a lot of limelight and all that stuff. It's cool and all. You're my friends. So that's different.
No, but like one of your interviews that speaks on like what you're talking about was Alan Thompson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that was one of the first interviews I saw anyone do with him.
Right.
And he was doing really good and killing it. If you knew, like if you were in the know,
He
you
cheated.
knew. If not, you might not know. But I thought like you kind of brought light to that, and I thought that was really cool.
Right.
And he's such a good guy too.
Exactly what I'm trying to do. Exactly what I'm trying to do. One of my favorite in the wrestling world. Her name's Hollywood Haley J. She's out of Louisville.
Louisville.
Really?
Yeah. She's on OVW, Ohio Valley Wrestling, but Ohio Valley Wrestling got a TV deal with Netflix a year ago, and she was the star on it. And what's wild, I had her on my show twice before she even popped off. Now she's traveling the world. And
yeah, that's so cool.
She was asked to come to WWE for a tryout, but she had some stuff in her past or whatever that's holding up some things. So she had to get some things cleaned up. I assume within the next 2 years, she'll be on our TV screen, WWE.
That's super cool.
Hopefully. Yeah. And I stay in contact with her on a regular. She actually she'll be doing something for episode 200 for us. So it's kind of cool to have people like that out there that I've only met through this, and they have my back.
Damn, super cool. That's badass.
All right, real quick, let's switch the pace real fast. Get back to how things are normally ran here on the E's and B's, and that's me with control here. Make sure you guys are checking us out each and every week wherever you listen to your podcasts out, and make sure you can support us there at easandb's.myshopify.com for the baddest podcast merch in the game. All right, guys, I got 2 fun ones for you. Very simple, very easy. I know you guys kind of know about the both of them a little bit, but how about this? You guys remember that show Quantum Leap back in the day, right?
Yeah.
All right. How about you quantum leap yourself into any celebrity sports star? Who would you be?
Oh God, dude, that's tough. That's like a fight between 2 of them. Like that fast, 2 of them.
I can't wait to hear what Limpy says.
Okay, so God, I don't know who to give it to, so I'm gonna give both.
Good.
I either want to be Doc Ellis, who is the only pitcher to pitch a no-hitter on acid.
Yep.
Or I want to be John Daly.
Or John Daly.
Dude, just cranking smokes. Don't care what I look like.
That can't be, because that was gonna be my deal. That's gonna be my guy.
Oh man.
How about you, Happy? What do you think?
John Daly is the reason why I started playing golf, believe it or not.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
long
man,
time ago.
I don't even know. I would probably pick a wrestler and be like The Undertaker.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I like that. Hell yeah.
mean,
The dude is, man, relevant to this day.
Yep. And still, he's been relevant ever since. I mean, when I started when I very first started watching wrestling, like Jerry Lawyer was.
Oh, yeah. The king.
He was the king.
King of Memphis, yeah.
But then, like, when The Undertaker come in, and I know he's been in Louisville quite a bit. And Louisville.
Hell yeah.
I probably would.
All right. So, Limp, you're going to go with John Daly, right?
Kind of has to. He got him golfing.
I know. I like
that.
I
mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Last question I got for you here before we get out of here. This one's kind of one that would only certain people will understand, especially us. But imagine this. Uncle Jeff gives us permission, and we'll all go here one at a time. We can do anything we want to Brown County Dragway besides changing the rules of the race and the race itself. Anything we want. Jasper, I'm starting with you first. What are you doing?
Okay, so since when I die, and this like isn't a joke, like I've legitly told my family this and they know, my ashes will be spread there so that my family has to go back to events there to say what's up. But only thing I would change, because I love it so much, is up here we brine the dirt roads. So that these tanker trucks will go down and they spray out like brine, and it keeps the dust down.
Got you.
That's it.
Got you.
I don't want to change nothing else unless they put like suites up in the hills.
Shh, hold on. I'm going last. Happy? You're a second.
I wouldn't change anything, but I would add, and me and Jeff's actually talked about it, and going along with the wrestling deal, I'd like to see a cage fight.
Ooh.
And we've actually even
Man, you're
discussed
talking.
it too. Like, if there's like even some local rivals or something, putting gloves on them
Yeah.
and giving them a place, kind of like the street brawl stuff.
Yeah.
But kind of regulating it, we'd have security, like it would be legit.
Hey, I know Chris Lights Out Lydell used to have a camp or whatever there in Indy, man, something like that. Like maybe Jeff could reach out and get like a couple of their fight. That'd be cool as hell. Good call, Happy.
Awesome.
All right, Limpy, how about you?
Shit, I don't know. Stripper stages all lined up down the
That's
side
right.
there. For intermission.
For
intermission.
Throne to sit in to flag.
Right on. All right. Well, my idea kind of was stolen, not really from Jasper, but a little bit. I want cabins in the hills or in the woods for the racers. Not for
that
the
you
fans.
Can like stay at for like the 4 day. Oh man,
you got it. Woo. You got it. You pull in as a racer, you pay for a cabin, you go to the cabin, and that cabin has access to the lanes.
And you're there all fucking day, all for if you
don't have to be 50 of them, but imagine like say top 25 or top 20 or 15 cabins out in the woods each year. You gotta, man, that'd be cool shit. Cool shit.
That would be sweet.
And your top guys from the last war in the woods would have first pick at the cabins.
Yes, exactly. First priority. Man, that's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, guys,
the bums we are, we could then stay in the trailer and sneak into someone's cabin for a shower.
Take a shower.
We do that. So.
Absolutely.
We might have to trade some goods, but we're good at that too.
Well, guys, it's been an honor and a pleasure having you back here at the E's and B's. I want to thank you once again for coming on episode 200. I tell you what, we're going to do this again. We're going to do it probably a couple more times before I shut this whole podcast down. However long it'll take me, who knows? But you can bet your bottom dollar that I'm going to have these three guys right back here, episode 420. Mark it down on your calendars. I mean, it's going to be a couple years, but we're going to be right here talking about episode 420. Once again, guys, like I said, you can go back in the archives, check out Happy's episode back in December of 2022, December 30th, episode 120. You can go back, check out Jasper's episode, April of 2023, episode 137, and then the GOAT, my man, on the light down there. You can go check him out, deep 2020, episode 70. Man, guys, once again, I cannot wait. We'll be catching up here in a couple weeks. We got a lot more to talk about. I'll be joining you hopefully the week of the War in the Woods there on the table to drop what we were talking about. Some good news on what we're about to drop down there at the War in the Woods race. Man, once again, I love you all. Thank you so much for all you do for the Easy Beast podcast, all you do for my family and myself. Once again, coming to us from Saginaw, Texas, and Eaton Rapids, Michigan, along with Louisville. I give to you Happy, Jasper, and Limpy. Thanks, guys. It's been great.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, bro.
Make sure you guys go follow them on all the social medias out there. Until next time, peace.